Ty Dolla just said that Vultures 2 is coming really soon, and let's take that as an occasion to actually discuss how this rollout could look and if we're actually, realistically, getting this album anytime soon. And this is going to be my subjective, personal interpretation and opinion, maybe wishes, for how this album will roll out. So let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So Vultures 2 has been subject of discussion over the past 2 weeks after we've gotten new listening experiences announced, and after months of really a drought after it's failed. Well, we're not even talking about March anymore. We had some hopes for April or May, never came true, so we're left with nothing. But there is some hope. Now, one thing that did go around on social media is this clip of Ty Dolla at a recent performance, which was just him, so no Kanye or Vultures affiliated. But he said Vultures 2 is coming very fucking soon. And he also had the Vultures logo up on the screen. So this is a pretty good sign that at least something is coming, because, and this doesn't mean that an announcement like this necessarily means something, because it doesn't, it never did for Kanye or Ty. But it means that we're at least getting hints at it again, which has the album back in discussion and it not being scrapped. Because honestly, from May to now, July, we heard nothing about it. So this is at least a good sign that it still exists and that Ty and Ye are aware that it exists themselves. Now, also one thing that went around the Kanye news circles was this snippet of a new song called Pray, in which he takes some shots against Kim Kardashian, the mother of his children, obviously, calling her a bitch because she doesn't give him his children. This has been subject of discussion with Ye and all the drama surrounding it for a very long time, but it now gets very explicit. People are saying this new Pray snippet is for his new solo album, which is called Y3. I don't want to dive into the solo album in this video. There's a lot of discussion around that going on right now. There will be a video coming out in the next couple of days going over the solo record, but I don't want to dive into a lot of these speculations and conspiracies, because as of right now, Vultures 2 is the next release, and this Y3 record to me always seemed like people just trying to latch onto something because they just heard nothing about Vultures 2. So we'll talk about the solo album when it is due time, when we actually have some solid info. I just don't want to have any of those crazy conspiracies on here. So just know that there's a rumored album Y3 and we have this Pray snippet. At least we got a snippet now. Now let me talk a little bit about how I expect this album to roll out, because now we actually have a realistic time frame and a time span that we could see this rolling out. Obviously, this album was scheduled for beginning of March as we originally had that announcement, and after Vultures 1 dropped, on time, February, beginning of February, I think 8th, we had some hopes that this schedule was actually going to be coming true. That obviously didn't really happen, but at least now there seems to be somewhat of a rollout materializing itself. So the first hints that we've had was this Korea listening party in Seoul on August 23rd, which is only about a month away, so about 4 to 5 weeks, which is a very good sign, because when we have a deadline for Kanye, it does make it easier for him to work. At least that's what we've been seeing in the past. Even if the listening experience is a mess and there's unfinished songs and it's just a complete disaster, at least something's coming. We had those, Las Vegas raves, Miami listening party for Vultures 1 that were kind of a mess, but they at least gave us some snippets. They at least moved us closer to the album's release. So we have this August 23rd listening experience. Then we have the rumors about a Taiwan listening experience 2 days later, which would make sense because the geographical distance isn't that far. 2 days later on August 25th. And we've gotten pictures of the venue that is supposed to be taking place. And this hasn't been confirmed by Ty, but it's been posted by the promoter in Taiwan. So I guess it's not final, but even the promoters themselves are reposting this. hopefully we'll get an announcement from Ty and Ye in the coming days about this Taiwan show actually happening. There's been a lot of rumors about this as well. And then we also have rumors about a Moscow, Russia listening experience on September 6th. We've seen Kanye in Moscow with Gosha Rubchinsky chilling on a yacht and looking at some venues because they're looking at, different stadiums that they could do this at. And this is supposed to be taking place on September 6th. And so if you take a look at those dates, we have August 23rd, August 25th, and September 6th, which are all in the span of 2 weeks, which is a very good sign because if we have shows scheduled for those dates, keep in mind, only Korea is confirmed so far, so we're still waiting on the confirmation for the other two. This could all still fall through, but at least we have some hints at that. If all of these are in the span of 2 weeks, that means that is going to be the kind of the hot time when this is actually rolling out, because usually right before an album releases, we're going to have multiple listening experiences back to back. And it seems like that is happening late August, early September. Do I think that this is dropping early September? Then probably not. I do believe there's going to be some sort of delay, some sort of pushing back the album. And I wouldn't be surprised if, early September, mid-September, we lose all hope and we never think this is coming. And then suddenly in October, the album then gets released. That's kind of how Kanye works. I wouldn't be surprised, let me state this here if I'm correct, then go back to this video. Late October, early November, I could see this album dropping. And I think that could realistically be true because I think shooting for that September release date just because, we get into a couple of listening experiences is a bit optimistic. I like to be proven wrong, but I'm saying late October, early November. Just judging based on the different Kanye rollouts that I've covered, it usually takes 1 to 2 months longer than you initially expect. But in the end, hopefully it does come out. And there are a bunch of people on social media also talking about how the hype has died down, how nobody's really excited about this album anymore. And I get those people because, if you fumble it like that and you announce release dates and you never come through on them, and then you hop on podcasts and talk about the album, and then you make promises for a second album to come out, and then people are in the meantime talking about another record, the solo record, it all seems very, not credible. And I get people who say that they are not hyped for Vultures 2 anymore. I totally get that. I would say, though, that Kanye is somebody that, as I said, works best under pressure. And I believe that the deadlines we have now, at least for the Korea show that is confirmed, are a good sign that something is coming. And from the snippets, with all the fan favorites, we're talking about River, we're talking about Slide, we're talking about Take Off Your Dress, we're talking about Time Moving Slow. All of those are looking pretty good, and it's sounding like it's going to be a dope record. But I get all those people, and definitely want to know how y'all feel about it, because obviously it relies on all of us, the fans. We're the ones listening to the music. We're the ones that are watching the listening experience. We're the one covering this. So I definitely want to know how y'all feel about it. Are you still hyped for Vultures 2? Now, today's video was a bit of a subjective video, a bit of a personal opinion, so a bit of a rant even. But definitely let me know which parts of my supposed interpretation of when this is coming out and how this is all developing you agree with, and also the ones you don't agree with, because that's the most interesting discussion. So all your thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and you'll take care.